uh, enough. Okay, so all right, so let me give you a countdown. Three, two. Hey everybody, James Floyd Kelly here again. Welcome to episode 10 of Novel Ideas, and once again, I'm here with my good friend Eric Wex. Eric, I heard you mention before we started that we have some attendees. Group chat's turned on, is that right?
Group chat is turned on, so if there are any viewers today, which at this point there aren't, we'll see what happens. They are welcome to comment.
Well, if you're catching this at a later time, always know that I believe Eric does enable this. So
yep.
For future episodes, if you want to join us live, post questions, or chat with us, he's going to turn that feature on. So what are we talking about today? We're going to talk about something that Eric has been planning for some time now. Eric, I'm going to give it to you.
We are going to talk about StoryCon. StoryCon is a reader-focused convention. The tagline is, it's where readers go to find their next great book. And I'm super excited to be planning this. And yeah, it's coming in October. We're going to do our first little mini-con. This is a toe-dipping year. We're dipping our toes in the water to see if this works, and we'll go from there.
Well, let me ask you this. You had told me a while back StoryCon was for readers. I remember that much. But you stressed it. Why are you wanting to stress that it's for readers versus writers?
There are plenty of writer conventions across the nation. If you want to learn how to write, if you want to hang out and network, drink with other writers, there are plenty of places to go to do that. What I don't think there are is as many more necessary right now are places for readers to come and in a few hours get exposed to a whole bunch of new authors they never heard of and find out which of those books that they've written they might be interested in reading. And that's something that there aren't that many places doing that, and we need more of it. We need more of it, especially with the slush pile moving to Amazon, right? We've talked about that before. Right. When Amazon becomes the giant slush pile, it becomes harder for readers to sort through, and this is a chance to sort through in a different way that's more interactive, chances to buy books, chances to do signings, and all that kind of stuff. So.
Let's get some details out before we talk about StoryCon. Date, location, some details maybe about the structure of the event.
Yep. So StoryCon will happen October 18th, 2014. It will happen at the Vancouver Community Library. That's in downtown Vancouver, Washington. So it's in the Portland metro area. It is going to feature author readings as well as author panels. I'll be there. We have Jason Gurley, who wrote Eleanor, will be there. We have Daniel Wilson, who wrote Robopocalypse, will be there. We have a couple of more regional writers. Kate Dyer-Seeley writes mysteries that are set in the Pacific Northwest. She will be there. And then a whole lot of really great fantasy, mystery, YA. What else do we have? Horror. We have a lot of the genre fiction will be there.
So. Do attendees need to go somewhere to register or sign up?
No, that's one of the things we wanted to do this year. Since we are just doing kind of a toe-dipping, building momentum kind of event this year, we wanted to leave it without a registration or a sign-up. The library is open from 10 to 6 that day, and we'll be going from 10:30 to 4:30. So you are welcome to drop by the library and join us and hang out for a few hours or hang out for the whole day.
Okay, so it's 6 hours long. You're going to have 3 rooms.
Yep.
And you said it's 3 sessions per hour. So
3 sessions per hour. So there are I think a total of 18 sessions, right? And then we have 12 panels and 12 readings during that time. So.
Okay. So it sounds like this will be sort of small and informal, where readers could actually raise their hand and maybe ask these writers a little bit more detail about. Yeah, I've been to some readings where I raised my hand and I never got picked because there was just so many people.
Right. Yeah, we expect to have between 250 and 300 people per hour there. So we're not trying to be super big this year, but we're looking forward to giving people an opportunity to actually hang out with the authors and get to know them.
How was the library? Were they receptive to this? Did you have to talk them into it, or?
The library is super excited about it. Yeah, they were. I think a little leery of the concept at first, but we had to sit down and just kind of talk through what the details and how to put boundaries on it so it didn't get too big and those kind of things. And once we did that, once they understood kind of my vision for this year, they're really excited about it. And I'm super excited because the Friends of the Library is actually doing the book sale for us. So you're going to be able to purchase books, and 40% of that gross goes to the library. And 60% comes back to the author, so it's great.
That's pretty cool. I'm always in big favor of supporting local libraries. I grew up as my mom, just a side story, when I was a little kid, my love of reading goes straight to my mom. During the summers, she would take us once a week to the library, and she would say, you can check out as many books as you want, but you have to read them all. And she would stick to it. And so I have a soft spot in my heart for libraries, so I think that's awesome that you're doing that. Let me ask you this. You said the sessions, and you mentioned some of the authors. Are there any that you're kind of excited about? I mean, I know you don't want to maybe offend any of your attendees, but are there any that you think science fiction,
science fiction? I'm super excited to have Jason Gurley and I doing a reading together. I'm also on a panel with one of my favorite writers, science fiction writers, Ernie Lindsay, who's more known for his thrillers than he is for his science fiction, but he has some great science fiction. He just finished a book called what did he call it? I want to say Super. It may not be. It may be called something else, and I'm forgetting it. But the idea is it's about the government-run assassination squads, whose job it is to kill off the superheroes because they're dangerous to the government. So, and it's written from the point of view of someone on the assassination squad. So I'm very excited to be on a panel with him. My daughter and I will be talking about our superhero origin story, Gossamer, during that time frame. So I'm excited to do that. And I'm also excited, science fiction-wise, to have myself, Will Hertling, and Daniel Wilson all on a panel discussing AI and its plausibility and the trope of the AI taking over the world, which Daniel made a mint on that trope, and Will Hertling is also written in that genre, and I'm going to play the skeptic a little bit of I have AI in my books and they interact with people, but I don't think those AI are alive. I think we're going to have AI that look like they're alive, that feel like they're alive, but have no internal dialogue, which is where I know that I'm alive, is that I talk to myself. So.
Well, I'll be putting my two hardback copies of Daniel Wilson's books in the mail to you to get signed.
There you go. That would be fantastic.
Make sure he signs them to Jim, not Eric.
Yeah. We can do that.
Well, let me ask you this: how long have you been prepping this thing or working on this?
We in Portland, we had a convention called Wordstock for years, and Wordstock was a huge success, and it was very similar format, similar idea, and for a variety of reasons, Wordstock stopped functioning last year, and it looks like they're supposed to be doing something next spring, but I don't know. I haven't heard a lot about it, and I don't know the details, and the rumor is, and again, I don't know this for sure, so I guess I'm spreading a little bit of gossip, but the rumor is that it's not being worked on. So I was really feeling like the fall is the time in Portland, particularly out here in the Northwest, where we have such great outdoor activities. The fall is the time where you want to have a book-oriented convention, because that's when people buy books, and then they spend all winter hibernating while it rains, and then as soon as April, May come along and it dries out, they head outdoors. So I felt like there was a real opportunity to do a book-oriented convention in the fall in Portland.
Are you, I hate to ask you this, put you on the spot, but do you think there's any chance you might be recording some of these sessions and sharing them on your website?
Not this year. I mean, flat out that not this year. Now, soon. Okay. Yes, in the future we will be. This year, I just don't think that we have the capacity to do that. Now, the library may choose. We can definitely talk about that on the 25th. We have the big final planning meeting, and if we could get them recorded, that would be fantastic. I'd love to see them up on local CCTV.
I'm just one of those that in this time and age where storage space is so cheap, I'm very big on that. I think things should always be recorded, so we don't lose any information. 200 years from now, somebody may be doing a history of Eric Wex, and they're going to need data.
No.
They're going to need data. They're going to be like, hey, I just found this video. It's only 3 minutes long, but it's an interview with Eric, and it just made my thesis.
I found this bizarre set of videos that Eric did with his friend James on how to write. It's all backwards.
These are those two that got in trouble with the law at one point,
Right,
weren't they?
exactly.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you this. Since you say that it's kind of hard for this year, let's talk about next year. Is this something you're planning to do again next year, or is this a one-time thing?
Yes, I wanted to dip my toe in the water and find out if there is interest, and we've seen such great interest from both authors and the library and the public. People are getting really excited about this. So the answer is yes. We are already planning 2015 because we want to be planning these a year out. So we're kind of trying to pull two things off at once.
So let's talk about 2015 topics, Eric. We need,
Yeah, exactly.
In advance.
Exactly, and my desire is that we go after top tier authors, that we're bringing in, Hugh Howey's and Neil Gaiman's and other people at that level, and Brandon Sanderson's and all those kind of people, and putting them in rooms where fans can interact with them, and I think that's going to be a fantastic concept. I think that's going to take funding, right? I think that's paying for their trips and paying for their speaking fees and all that kind of stuff is going to take funding.
Now, a lot of the authors you're mentioning, aren't they local?
The authors that I'm mentioning right now for this year are local, and we'll definitely. But I want us to have, my goal for 2015 is that we have between 5 and 10 national best-selling authors, nationally recognized authors, and we may just get the local folks. But I also want to bring in people that can't be seen by people in Portland very often, or because the local folks are always around and they're doing readings and they're doing stuff locally. But bringing in people from out of town, we want to bring in a few of those top names. So that's the goal.
Well, let me tell you, I live in Atlanta, and nothing aggravates me more than I'm in a mega city that has a lot of bookstores, and we never get visiting authors here. I mean, we get them. But when I go on a favorite author's website and I see their book tour, it's Houston, Dallas, California cities, Boston, Washington, never Atlanta. It aggravates me. I know other readers in Atlanta get mad about it. I don't know if publishers think that Atlanta is sort of illiterate and we're just a bunch of hicks down here who burn books instead of reading them. I don't know what the issue is, but I wish you luck, because I know that that's a big thing, is to get authors into Atlanta. We'd love to meet them.
Well, and I think that takes then the people inviting them. The publishers are going to go where the publishers think they should, and they're often wrong. But they, that's where I think you have to go out and try to get them for yourself. And I tell
you what I'll do. I'll hook you up with one of my favorite writers.
There you go.
Very well known. His name's Jack McDevitt. He's here in Georgia.
Yeah. I'd love to have McDevitt come out. That would be fantastic.
He's a good friend. I love talking to him. I love meeting him whenever he comes to Atlanta. And he's got a new book coming out in November. And he sent me an advanced copy. I shouldn't be saying that, but I just finished it in like 2 days, and it makes me sad because every time I read one, I think it's going to be his last. But I'll try to maybe do a virtual introduction with you and Jack, because he does travel.
That would be fantastic. That would be fantastic, and I would love to have some of the great science fiction writers head our direction. That would be great. So
I'll tell him I have a good friend who's a fan out in Portland.
There you go.
Well, let's do this. Once again, viewers, we want to invite you to submit your questions. But Eric, I guess this would be a good point to ask viewers or anyone who's listening out there to maybe send you some ideas. I mean, if this is something that you want to do in 2015, maybe you want to put the appeal out, a plea to your viewers here.
And we want to focus it on readers. I mean, I really do. That has got to be the heart and soul of this convention, is what do readers want. So as an author, it's really easy for me to imagine what readers want, but I would really love to hear from readers about what kind of things they would like to hear us talk about, how they would like to interact with authors, and what kind of situations they would like to see us in. So that would be great.
Well, we've got about 20 seconds left, so we actually nailed this one pretty good.
Not bad.
Is there anything on your mind you want to talk about for StoryCon before we sign off?
Come on the 18th. Come see what it's like. Get signed up. Get involved. If you're interested in more information, go to the Story Convention website, storyconvention.com. Storyconvention.com, and there is a sign up there where you can sign up for our mailing list, and that's going to be the best way to keep up to date.
Okay. Do you need any volunteers? Is everything covered?
I think this year we are pretty well covered, but there will definitely be opportunities to volunteer for next year and going forward. So.
And you said 10:30 to 4:30. Is that correct?
10:30 to 4:30 is what it's going to run. There may be a signing or two that happens after 4:30, but 10:30 to 4:30 on October 18th at the Vancouver Community Library in downtown Vancouver, Washington.
Okay, and you're going to put up some more information about it on your website for people that want to do that.
Storyconvention.com is full of information. We have all the panels already listed, and you can look at all the author bios of who's actually showing up and what panels they're on. And one of the cool things we did is that we listed the panels by the book. So you can go through the panel list, and you can decide which books do I actually want to hear about, and then figure out who wrote them. Because one of the things I think conventions forget is you're not there to buy the author, you're there to buy the book, and then you decide that you want to know more about the author. So we wanted to make sure that the books are front and center.
Okay, mention that website one more time, Story Convention or Conventions?
Storyconvention, singular.com.
Storyconvention.com. Viewers, be sure to check out Eric's website. Also, I'll make another plea. If you have finished reading Eric's latest book, The Far Banks of Rubicon, if you have not written an Amazon review, please go do that for our friend Eric here. It helps him out so much. Eric, we'll chat again next Tuesday.
Sounds good.
And we'll also do a few reminders in upcoming videos about StoryCon. But it sounds fun. I wish I could make it. It's a bit of a hike for me. Maybe next year.
It'll come.
Definitely need to get out there and see you. But it's good chatting with you. Viewers, thank you for joining us. And again, if you have any questions for us, please submit them via Eric's website. And also, we're going to be doing group chat with the videos now, so you can join us live. So, Eric, I will talk to you next week.
We'll see you next week. Take care.
All right, buddy. Take care.